Hi there everybody, welcome to basically a different sort of video. I figured it'd be nice to get some footage recorded of the Pokemon TCG PC card game before it goes offline essentially. It turns out that they're making a mobile app soon-ish at some point, and I thought this would be a good way to, I suppose, archive pretty much, what was on here at the time. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through a series of matches on here in the single player with each deck that I have in my possession, including the basic decks and some of the theme decks that I've renewed. I will also show a few other decks that I have in my possession, just for fun, really, I suppose. But yeah, let's begin. It's been a while since I've played this. So let's begin with Zach, and we'll go in order from left to right. So we're going to use the Crushing Current deck. This is a deck I'm not the best with, to be honest. This is what he lives for. It's always weird, like, I always thought that the single player component of TCG could be a bit better. Something a bit more akin to what was on the Game Boy, because there was a full-on like story mode in that, where you go around collecting gym badges. Although it's not really, they're technically gyms, kind of, in the Game Boy Color game. Look at the two cards of your deck and put them into your hand. We'll do that. I'll take this card. And I'll put this on my MilkNyte. So yeah, the thing is, like I said, the game will be going offline eventually, and I thought this could be fun to just kind of put out there and show what's on here and stuff, I guess. It's funny because they're actually going to be changing the avatars as well. They're going to be more 3D looking in the new game that they're putting out, or iteration that's going to be on smartphone, essentially. If I choose two cards, I'll get rid of these two for the time being. I'm sure I've got plenty of them in the deck, to be honest. Ooh, Raichu is pretty tempting. Yeah, I'll take Raichu with me, because we might get Pico at some point. So yeah, they're redesigning the whole thing essentially. Now the thing is, I've stressed this before in an earlier video. I think it was in the solo code sessions. At least, actually no, I haven't posted that episode yet. I brought it up in a solo code session video, which will be posted at some point at a later date, so I'll probably end up reinforcing this again like twice over. But essentially, if you have anything like theme decks, stuff that you've renewed, like packs and stuff, make sure they're all renewed before the game basically has the mobile iteration come out, because they'll be turning off the support for this at some point before then. Which is a bit of a shame, because I always liked this. It's a bit of a shame to see it go, and it's been around for years. But that's kind of the way of, like, today's climate. A lot of people are spending more time on their mobile phones and tablets and stuff these days. So, I can't really imagine the player base on the PC being as huge in comparison to that demographic that they've probably estimated. And let's be honest, they're kind of going to put microtransactions behind the new avatar aesthetics. It's obvious what's going to happen with that. As for your avatar and all the stuff that you've renewed, I don't know if it's going to be carried over. I'd think that it would be, or at least you'd get some sort of equivalent in some way. Because it would stink to like know that you've spent like most of the free Poke currency that you get in this game on the aesthetics that you like. Only to find out they're completely useless when the new mobile version comes out. I'm glad that the decks and, you know, everything else is going to be carried over. So if you have any codes or anything, make sure you renew them before the mobile version gets released. Just carry on doing damage with MilkNyte. It's the only thing I can really do right now. I should put that on Kangaskhan, because if anything goes south I can switch to Kangaskhan. So the way for those of you who don't play TCG, the way it works is you put energies onto your Pokemon, and you can have up to like is it 6 or 5? I think it's 5 for your bench, and 1 active. Essentially, you're playing the battles like in the games, essentially. Our opponent hasn't put an energy on Blufalint yet. I'm not sure if this is going to be a series of videos or if it's just going to be one big video. I'm still deciding that. So I'll see how far I can get with this, just playing each deck that's here. Because there's a few other decks that I have a hold of in the... Let me just heal up. In the... They're not basically viable for single player because they're broken, essentially. But I can show them off in the testing area to show you what they're like competitively, I suppose. Okay, Kangaskhan is now on standby. That thing does 100 damage when it's got like 4 energies put together. I'm just hoping for my MilkNyte to be knocked out, so that I can switch into Kangaskhan at that point. Just in time, we've got Pikachu. I mean, I could switch into Raichu because of the attack doing 20 damage for every benched Pokemon I have. Can also use Revive and get our MilkNyte back, which I'll then put onto the bench, so it works out either way. And smack, we do 80 damage with that, because it's 20 for each benched, which is pretty nice. And there's the legendary for this deck, which is Zapdos. Zapdos is pretty interesting. It has the ability to do 40 damage for each benched Pokemon, but it does 120. One strat that you can do with Zapdos is to have nothing benched and just have that be your active and essentially just face roll everything. It's a very it's not the most solid strat in the world, but like it's one thing you can do. Putting energy on Zapdos. I don't think we're gonna need to switch into it though. Well, what has he got? He's got a Unpheasant. I thought that was a V for some reason, a V max or something. Of course, double effective weakness. We got Snorlax now, big boy. And we lost one. And yeah, Raichu goes down. That was a big attack. Well, Kangaskhan's coming in. And there was me thinking I had it in the bag. It's not that easy. still fast asleep, so we can knock it out this turn. It's actually quite fun to play Pokemon TCG again, even before it goes offline, essentially. I mean, I used to stream this quite often, but I never really archived any of it, and I just thought doing this would be fun. And plus, you know, having an archive of it is quite nice. I do kind of wish, though, that they implemented some update where you could customize the table and the player mat and stuff. Because it's funny, because like for every small feature that I see in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, a part of me is kind of just like, TCG or Pokemon TCG should kind of have a feature like that at this point. But I guess Nintendo kind of gave up on support. And, well, they're obviously going to be changing the game, as it were, at that point when it gets to the smartphone app. Hopefully we get all the nice little extra features that, we've just... hopefully we get all the nice little features that Duel Links usually has, like card sleeves and different style playmats, stuff like that, you know. So yeah, that's the Zapdos deck, the Crushing Current one. Right, we're going to be taking on Mickey next. We're going to be fighting fire with fire. I'm going to be using the Born of Fire deck, which has Moltres in it. Funnily enough, with TCG as well, in regular Pokemon games, if two Pokemon of the same type attack each other, it's usually not very effective and there's resistance. In this game, it's not the case. I'll start off with Meowth because I can use the draw ability. Providing I have one energy, which I do. Weakness policy. I'll save that for later. Oh yeah, it's our first turn, so we can't do anything on the first turn. First player can't attack or use any abilities, usually. Because that would be a little bit broken. Adds a sense of fairness, I guess you could say. Another Eevee. Supporter and a basic energy. Well, there's the basic energy. I'll take Sycamore. I don't know whether I should put energy onto Meowth or not. No. I'm going to use draw for the time being. Or feeling fine, I should say. There's quite a few basic Pokemon cards that have the draw one card ability. I think there's a Charmander that has something like that called Collect. We'll heal the damage. Just to keep in a bit longer for using the ability. There's no solid moves I can make, really. At the moment. I feel like I might be holding out too long here. Jeez, I'm getting rotten luck this time. Well, rest in peace, Meowth. You were good. You were good while you lasted. I'll use Lysandra's card. And put Victini in and start whittling on that thing. Tackle's gonna be pathetic. Then again, lunge could be useful, I suppose. That's if it ever hits. Got a feeling that's going to be happening quite a lot. And he just healed. Ugh. Man, what's going on? I keep getting supports and energies and items. I need something to evolve already, like Flyrion or something. Oh, there we go. Finally a card I can use. I have to start stacking energy on it though. 40 more damage if you do. This Pokemon does 20 damage to itself. I can also use Combustion because Combustion ain't that good. Paralyzed. Still too early to switch in. Because that requires 4 energy. Tauros as well. I suppose Tauros on backup isn't too bad. There's a variant of Tauros that does a ton of... this is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, if you flip a coin for each counter on this Pokemon, this attack does 30 damage. And with a heavily damaged Tauros, that can... yeah, it's quite formidable. Not gonna lie, I've turned a few tides of battle in this game just by that alone. Well, rest in peace, Eevee. And then Moltres joins the battle. I'll start stacking on Tauros, just in case we need to, if things go real south, I suppose. No, we're not going to use the perk, because Victini only has 79. I'm going to use energy retrieval. Sorry, my voice is going all over the place. What's going on? It's like alternate volumes. Put Ponyta on the bench. I'm probably not going to need it, but it's nice to have it on the bench. Vulpix, nice. Vulpix is pretty cool. I like the Alolan variant quite a lot. Looks like we're asleep this turn. Let's get us a Flareon. Seething Anger. We need one more for that. Put Vulpix on the bench as well. We'll skip our turn because we're obviously sleeping. And we're awake again. And we now have a Growlithe. I'm just going to use Flying Flare again. In fact, how much health does it have? 90. Okay, I'll use Combustion first. And then I can one-shot it on the next turn. Oh, okay, never mind. That went south horribly. Well, Tauros, it's time. Right, takedown first. We've got to start stacking damage onto ourselves. The higher the damage, the more chance we have. Oh, damn it. Get Flareon in there. This will let me see what prize cards are available. Tempting. That card didn't go for us. We're kind of under pressure here a little bit. We have to start stacking energy. As long as he doesn't get another energy, he should be fine. And that bloody Team Flare card, that thing always like the bane of my existence. Draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. I'm going to take a chance. Could be the best move, could be the worst move I make. Right, we have to skip this turn for now, I think. Yes. No, Flareon didn't last long enough. Oh, we're getting our butts kicked here. This is what happens when I don't stack things on standby. Then again, it is all chance after all. He's pretty much won this. Yeah, there's not a lot I could do there. Screwed by chance more than anything else. Oh well, you win, you lose. Just how it is. Now I would do a salty run back, but I'm not going to be doing that in this video. Like I say, I'm going through each of the decks here and just having fun with them. Right, we're going to go against Calvin next with the Hidden Depths deck. This is the base deck that I use the most, mainly because Articuno is really good, and there's other good cards in it like Lapras. Vaporeon can be quite good too if you use it well enough. So we've got Magikarp, Psyduck, and Porygon. I'm going to put Porygon in first. Gyarados, that's another good card by the way. Porygon's going to be our shield essentially. Dojo has the draw 2 cards ability. You need 2 energy for it though. If you hear anything a bit untoward while I'm speaking, it's because I've got chewing gum. Completely unrelated, I know, but just how I roll. We can now bring in Gyarados. Aquatail is going to do enough. Oh wait, I need another energy for that. It's okay, Berserker Splash should be enough. And just like that, we've beaten him super quickly, because he had nothing else playable than his active. Sometimes that's just how it is, you just blitz through things real fast. And sometimes some games take forever. So, those are the basic decks they've just shown everybody, I suppose. Or for anybody watching this. So next we are going to be against Ali next. And we are going to use the Charizard deck. This is a theme deck I've used quite a lot actually myself. I actually really do like this one. Charizard is pretty good. It's very unstoppable, if you play it right anyway. I mean, I could get screwed by chance. It is a card game after all. So I can start off with Slugma, which is actually a decent stalling card, as you can see. Can cause Pokemon to be asleep, and I can use Flare as well. Yanma is a good card because it'll eventually evolve into Yanmega, which has an amazing attack. But it costs 4 energy, but it's 120 damage if I remember correctly. I will now use this card to get to... There's Lugia. Lugia is pretty good. Energy loop, you just put an energy back into your hand and then you can just reload it on the next turn. Or if you want to, you can stack 4 energy and then just keep replacing the energy and you never run out essentially. Unless they have like a flare card or something. I'll pick Paper. Looks like she won that one, I think. I'm not too sure. I didn't see her draw her cards. And usually if you draw, you just kind of keep playing until you get a winner. Charmeleon or Yanma? I'll take another Charmeleon. Lighten the load, as it were. Got a couple of options. I could start stacking on Lugia. Or I could store with Yanma. Not Yanma, Slugma. I think I'll start stacking with Lugia for the time being. Trying to take out my Yanmega. Discard my hand and draw 7, I'll do that. Those cards are not going to be very useful to me right now. See, I've got more energy to do with the next turn. Retreat cost is 2 for this. Sudowoodo's the other one that has the draw ability. And it only costs 1 energy as well. You can't mix these apparently. I best take Charmander then. Her strategy is relying on like blast damage, essentially. We need to get my Slugma out of there to get Lugia in there. In the meantime, I'm not benching anything else, not while that thing has that ability. Okay, retreat. Energy loop. It's not over yet. She's got another one on the bench, which she'll probably end up playing. Yep, called it. And she revived it back onto the bench. Actually, it's a Zubat that time, not a Golbat. I'll start stacking for a Charizard if I can. Oh, damn it, I forgot. Never mind. I'll skip for the time being. I could have used Gust actually. Wait a minute. Try and evolve Charmander. Energy loop to death. No more cheesing. Actually, she's got another one. Man, is her deck like full of Zubats and Golbats? We can now get Charizard on here. Energy loop again. Yeah, this is why Lugia is like so good in this deck. That's the thing with this theme deck. It's not just Charizard you gotta watch out for, but Lugia as well. Can now use this to put it onto a benched Pokemon as well. And then I can put an energy on here. This is going pretty well. I'm surprised she's not played that over Golbat sooner. To be fair, the AI makes a lot of questionable decisions in this game sometimes. Lugia was MVP. You can see why, because Energy Loop just destroyed everything. Right, we're going to go against Grayson next, and I will be using, for this one, the Galarian Dalmatian theme deck. I recently got this deck not too long ago. I've only played a couple of matches with it. So this will be like, my third, fourth time playing this deck. And we have Suicune on here. Put 2 energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand. So it's like Energy Loop, but like Lugia has, but it requires 2, essentially. It's decent, but it's not the greatest. I'm thinking I'll put Suicune in first. Call me crazy. But that's roughly how I'm going to roll for this one. No valid cards. Oh well. Rotten luck. The idea was to just keep stacking energy onto it. If you want to face roll everything. That's fine. I have a feeling he's going to have nothing else to play. Yeah, I think he's done. That was fast. Typical, I get like a real fast victory, so I don't really get to see the deck's long playing style, I guess. For an extended period of play, I should say, anyway. I mean, that being said, I can do it off stream and get the feel for the deck more so. Right, the next deck we'll be going up against Tyson next, and we're going to be using the Dreadnought theme deck. I've played this deck quite often as well, next to the Charizard one. It's a lot more, I kind of want to say defensive based, kind of, if that makes any kind of sense. But it does have good attack as well, like it's, you know, there's some good cards on it. Wishy-Washy I'm going to keep on standby. Wishy-Washy has the one ability, it lets you shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 8 cards. It's essentially a hand reset, which is really nice. Tutel, we're going to play this to get rock, paper, scissors going. Rock. Oh my lord. Hey, we finally won the round. Right. I'll put the other Oshawott on the bench, and then we'll use Water Gun. I wonder if they're ever going to have any card animations in the mobile game. Believe it or not, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links has some, but it's only for certain monsters. Stuff like your Dark Magicians, your Blue Eyes White Dragons, your Red Eyes White Dragons. Dark Magician Girl has an animation, I believe. I think Harpy Lady as well. There's quite a few. Most people turn them off because they take the game longer in that regard for the animation to play out, but you know, some people are like that. I get to search for an evolution Pokemon next. He's going to be doing more damage this time now. And I'll put an energy on him because he actually has Aqua Wash. You may put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. So you can basically detach an energy from something they have. Whether it's... yeah, it has to be active, not benched. My bad. I'm going to place one energy on Wishy-Washy for the time being. There's more to my strategy though. It's coming together. I can now use Deep Sea Swirl and get 7 cards in my hand. Wishy-Washy is probably not going to last very long, to be honest. We'll get another one on standby here. I've already got a Dreadnought here too, which is pretty cool. I'll put that on standby just for the sake of it. And let's use Deep Sea Swirl again. It's such a good ability because you can kind of pick and choose things essentially. The only downside is that Wishy-Washy is very squishy and can get destroyed simply against anything. I mean, it's only got 30 HP, I mean, what do you expect, you know? Okay, rest in peace, Wishy-Washy. It was good knowing you. So now we have Samurott. This thing, you may put 2 energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand, so I can detach energy if I don't kill it, essentially. Or I can give it them back if I've knocked something out, but the problem is with doing that, you essentially give your opponent an advantage. So it's best to say no and let the energy just go to the discard pile to be extra mean, I guess you could say. And then you just click done, and then you bypass the discard energy thing, and then the energy just goes to the discard pile. They have no advantage at that point. And like I say, that ability after doing the attack is only useful if you're against something that's quite meaty and able to withstand 120 damage. Another good thing that Samurott has is this Pokemon will take 30 less damage. Essentially, it kind of has a hard charm already installed on it in a sense, which is a nice ability. Damage decreased, but it wasn't enough to withstand. Samurott is brutal in this deck, to be fair. It just wipes everything, essentially. What's that? He's just evolved. Oh, a Ninetales. I couldn't quite tell because of the art being reversed. For some reason, I thought it looked like a Cottonese evolution, but I was like, why would it be fire, you know? We have Hop. We can at least draw 2 cards in the next turn if we want to. Not that I'm planning to, but I could do just for the extra novelty, I suppose. Done on that one. Another way you could lose the game, by the way, is if you have like nothing else to draw from. Always make sure you've got cards in your deck. Don't be too overzealous with drawing all the time. Because some decks are very good. The key is knowing when to use your abilities and not to. I will admit I'm being a little bit wasteful, but then again I can afford to. I've got 17 cards in the deck. 16 now. But this match is already done and dusted. There we go. Rightio. That's pretty much all of the decks that I can use in the trainer challenge anyway, because obviously the other decks that I have in my possession are really in my collection and can only be tested. I can play them online and stuff too, but I'm not really in the mood for online play at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my collection. Actually, no, it's decks, isn't it? My bad. Deck manager. And yeah, as you can see, I have the Blastoise V-Battle deck. There's a couple of custom decks I made. There's the MilkNyte one, which is the online bog standard PvP deck, which I'm not really a big fan of personally. You got the Venusaur V and the Victini one, and I have Gardevoir's one as well. So I'm going to quickly show these off, I suppose. We'll start off with the Blastoise one, and we can test it if I remember correctly. Yes, there we go. You have to just click test and it puts you in like a random match. And they always have like the standard like practice deck to go against usually. It's treated as like a glorified training, I suppose. So as you can see, Dreadnought's in here as well as Tootle. And there's also the Blastoise V deck, or V card I should say. I don't know if we'll get it. If we do get it in this match, that'd be kind of nice, but that's kind of the deck's main theme and main card, as it were. Starting on the attack already, huh? They're trying to stall me. Another legend that's in this deck is the Volcanion, or Volcanion. I believe that's Gen 6 legendary, isn't it, if I recall? I kind of missed the online event for it. I was never able to get a hold of it on X and Y, unfortunately. And the only way I could get one nowadays is like trading for a hacked shiny one on the servers, because that's really all people do these days, is run around with hacked Pokemon. That's kind of what happens though when certain event Pokemon don't become redistributable over time. Or rather, they just get redistributed on a later iteration. I mean, geez, what generation are we on now? Is it Gen 8? Yeah, it is. Because Sun and Moon was Gen 7. I actually did like Sun and Moon. The change-up was quite nice. And make sure that the Pokemon can't retreat on the next turn. Naturally, that's if the Pokemon is meaty and beefy enough to withstand 130 damage. Got a feeling that this guy's deck is not going to have enough stuff to essentially survive in that regard. How typical would it be if I get Blastoise in one of the prize cards and it's the last prize card we get? Sharpedo in there. Sharpedo's ability is quite good. It does 20 damage to one of your Pokemon's benched as well as doing 50 to the active. So it's a pretty nice compromise. I mean, you're doing 50 to an active and you're putting 20 on whatever benched Pokemon of your choice, essentially. Reminds me of the Golbat's ability, the swoop one, a little bit. Malamar against. Jeez, keep drawing. Start putting energy on something else for the time being. In fact, I could switch into Sharpedo. I will have Barraskewda be my proverbial meat shield for a little bit. I'll put one on Sharpedo. We'll get 2 energy from the deck here whilst we're at it. Oh wait, oh yeah, of course it counts as a basic, doesn't it? I'll do that then. I can at least show you what it's capable of doing. So it has Water Gun for 30 damage with just 1 energy alone. It's got 220 HP. And Torrential Cannon, during your next turn this Pokemon can't use Torrential Cannon, so you're doing like 200 damage, but it's kind of like Hyper Beam, where the Pokemon must rest for the next turn. It's a pretty decent card, to be fair. I kind of have a soft spot for Blastoise, not gonna lie. I'm going to use Sharpedo, and we're going to use that little gimmick that I just mentioned. We'll do damage to... Well, Pokemon has, like, the less HP. I guess it would be, yeah, I guess it'd be this one, the Inkay. I could use Switch if I wanted to. I think I will, actually. Finish it off with Hammering. So yeah, Dynamite Steam, 2 coins, and if you get ahead, it does 20 damage per head, essentially. You only get 2 rolls of it, so it's one of those risk-rewards things. Much like most coin flipping, I should say. In this case, it didn't work out. We can just try the next turn. In fact, I'm going to put Blastoise on the bench there if I can. Yeah, 240 is the maximum damage that this thing can put out. which is pretty nice when you get 2 heads. Let me just check the time. I'm doing good for time. I was just making sure it weren't too late. This match is pretty much done with now, provided that we get the next coin flip correct. I could retreat and put Blastoise in for a victory, I suppose. Why not? Let's do it. This is the money shot. Yeah, that's pretty fun. We at least got to use a V Blastoise, I should say. Okay, next we are going to play with the Venusaur deck. I'll keep Gardevoir and Victini decks for last because they're quite fun to use. I haven't played much with the Battle Venusaur deck all that much. But I do know that Venusaur relies on healing itself and then using an attack that damages itself, I think, if I recall. As you can see, I've like customized the card sleeves for this deck. So card sleeves are in the game, obviously. I mean, it's like playmats and stuff that you'd think they would have had by now, I guess. Hey, he's got a Lotad. Paper. Another Durant on there. We can now use Bite together to do more damage. So the more Durants you have on the bench, the more damage it does. Let me look at the increase. If a Durant is on your bench, this attack does 60 more damage. So if you've got like a group of Durants, it's the whole hive mentality kind of thing. And there's Venusaur. So it has Double Edge, which does 10 damage to itself, but it also has Leaf Drain, which does 50 damage and 30 damage heal. So the idea, or the gimmick I should say, is to use Double Edge over time. As you do damage to yourself, use Leaf Drain to get your health back, essentially. I mean, Double Edge is like 190, it's pretty good damage-wise. But there are some cards out there that can withstand that, believe it or not. Especially if you load up certain items on high-level cards that have got like a lot of HP and stuff like that. Trying to get another Durant just to put the damage output up, just for funsies. Because this match is done and dusted now. At least you got to see the Venusaur. I mean, I didn't get to use it, but I could at least explain what it's capable of doing. Rightio, we're gonna save the waifu deck for last because everyone's favourite waifu is Gardevoir on the internet, and we're gonna use the Victini deck next. This is a deck I've not used much either, and I don't really remember Victini's abilities for this deck very much. Tail Whap and Mirror Errand running. Search a deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them and put them in your hand. That's pretty decent. You can also use Peck. Nope, nothing that we can get from that. Obviously it's the first turn, so we can't do anything. But I've at least put 1 energy on Chatot. I actually like Chatos. I've got like one of them in my actual competitive deck just for fun. Nuzzle. Typical, it does the heads and tails and nothing happens. That's a pretty decent card. If anything was knocked out, I get to draw another 2. Bit of a insurance policy, I guess you could say. I'll get some more energy. Another good thing about this is that it's making my deck a bit lighter, so the chance of me pulling for something is a bit like higher in terms of probability. Nothing we can do this turn, because Nuzzle actually hit us this time. Man, we are not getting much in the way of mons that we can damage with at the moment. We'll start doing damage rather than energy drawing for the time being. Finally something I can start investing with. Discard 2 energy and does 150. Its tackle is like 30 as well. It's not the worst thing in the world either. I'll pick scissors for this one. I'm going to put 2 on that just to do tackle with it. I don't think I'm going to be using Fire Spin much, because it'll waste a lot of energy cards and I can't really afford to be just wasting them frivolously. Attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your benched. So, if I suppose if I waste it, I can always have this guy come back and salvage them. It's not out of the question, I suppose. Keeps getting us paralyzed, so I think what we're going to do is now we're going to switch. Finally get the ball rolling. Skip my turn for the time being. drafted into Gen 6 Pokemon. It's like a little miniature Raichu, to be honest. I've always liked it. It's a cool little Pokemon. Right, what I can do is now I can use switch, put you in, and start using the ability from discard. And start attaching it. So it's like a bit of a cycle of sorts. Eventually it'll reach its end, but like, the option's there, you know. Put one on Scorbunny. Although we're probably not going to have to at this point. Also you can stack as well, which is pretty nice. I don't think Victini is going to make much of an appearance in this run. I suppose we can look at what the card does after the match is finished. And I don't know why I'd put that energy on you. Light punch. Was a light punch, it was only 10 damage. I suppose what I'll do is I'll just stack that onto you. Put that there. I just gotta mute myself a minute, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I'm back now. Obviously Victini did not make its appearance in the match. So it has Spreading Flames. You can attach free energy cards from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. And then you have Energy Burst, which does 30 damage for each energy attached. So it stacks, it's pretty good. And Victini's in the 190 category, so it's a pretty nice card. Right, we're going to go to the last theme deck that I have in my collection for PC, Pokemon TCG, and we are going to sign off the app pretty much by having this last ever little match, I suppose. At least in terms of recording, I should say. I'll probably sneak a few games before the app goes down, I suppose, at some given point before they roll out the phone app, essentially. Let's roll with the Gardevoir deck and see if we can get Gardevoir involved. If not, then it's no biggie. I'll show what Gardevoir's capable of at the end. But I was gonna say it'd be great if we got it on the first try. So we have no basics here for any of you who don't play TCG. If you don't have a basic Pokemon you can put down as your active, you have to take a mulligan. So once our opponent finishes setting up, we basically reset our hand until we get a basic. In the meantime, our opponent gets to take one card for every mulligan we take. You had to take 3 mulligans before you drew a Pokemon card you could play in your opening hand. That's pretty bad. You can also go through the multiple mulligans as well. So we're going to start with Snubbull here. Gen 2 Pokemon. I do like Snubbull, to be fair, it's a good card. I'm joking, it's not that good. I mean, look at that, 30 damage for 2 energy as well. I mean, not the best. I am going to... We're going to search for 2 more basics because we need something else other than Snubbull. There we go, Hawlucha is pretty damn good. It does 30 damage and you can shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 5 cards. So this thing can do damage and it can also give us the chance of hand resetting, which is quite nice. In fact, I'm going to be doing that right now. Actually, I'll do speed attack first. And then I'll use the hand resetter, I suppose. Depending on what our next card is. We have to be careful because we've got a Voltorb right in front of us, which could probably knock us out easily. Chosen to paralyze us, which is unfortunate. And look who showed up to the party. We've got a Gardevoir. Everybody's favourite card. So Magical Shot does 30 damage. It's got 210 HP. And if this Pokemon was healed during this turn, this attack does 80 more damage. Swelling Pulse by its own does 120, so it, you know, it can do 200 damage, providing you have the 80 plus buff. So, I mean, that already speaks volumes of how good this card is, really. Also, rest in peace, Voltorb, jeez. Took itself out in the process. I can get 4 cards drawn. I'm gonna use Magical Shot this turn. I mean, as soon as we get 1 more energy on Gardevoir, it's pretty much all done, really. I'll also put an energy on Clefairy just for the sake of it. You gotta love psychic animations in this game, to be fair, they're really over the top. Trying to stall us really badly. You gotta love that effort. Yeah, let's try the Meg, I guess. $90 HP or less. I'll take Clefairy. Oh, I can't take Clefable. Take another one of these, just to filter out the deck a bit more. Not that it matters. I'm never gonna do the full 200. Oh wait, I need another energy on that. I keep forgetting it discards an energy. About 200 damage. is a fun card to use. I mean, heck, even the base damage is just really nice. Wally. Lightning. Oh, and he's switched as well. Not that it's going to do anything now, it's all over. There we go. And that's pretty much all the theme decks that I can go through. I mean, I could have put MilkNyte in there. I mean, it's not that impressive of a deck to me, really. I mean, it's the best part about it really is Garlade. Yeah, Garlade is like the best card out of the bunch, which is a bit unfortunate. But it is what it is. It's a standard deck. I mean, it does 20 damage, the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon, which is good. And Swift Lunge, your opponent switches the defending Pokemon with one of their benched. So it's decent if you can get it pulled off, but the problem is with MilkNyte, it's ever so easy to be shut down with it, to be honest. It's more of a, like I say, it's more of a bare bones, basic PvP kind of deck, really. Rightio, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be catching you in the next one. Until then, ciao for now.